TV, you're probably pretty freaking happy. If not, you're probably not. So I think it's a mix of all.
That's perfect.
But I'll add to that. I think that you also have people who, and it doesn't help when you have people who will go on social media who post very cryptic things. And that's something we've seen a lot of also in the last few years. And I think a lot of it also will sometimes tie into people who have contract issues or contract coming due, or they're unhappy about something, and they're pretty vague and stuff they post on social media. Some of that unhappiness also tends to kind of add things to pile on that you see on social media.
We need you to secure any survivors and find out how
Everyone has their own agenda, everybody has their own situation going on. Like I said, it's always going to be a mix of people who are happy and people who aren't. And right now, the issue with AEW is not as hot as they used to be. In 2025, they have to try to figure out how they can claw back some of those fans who used to watch that stuff. They try to drive their numbers up a little bit.
It seems like social media, like, you can very very good. And it's so discouraging. I know that, they're just wrong. And it's got to be really fortunate to them to see the stuff that they're posting on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's got to be wrong.
I'm sure it is, especially when it's stuff that in many cases is out of control. If it's decisions that are being made sometimes for other people who work there, and sometimes they can be stupid decisions. The talent doesn't necessarily have any control over that. They may want to sort of fly the flag of AEW, but sometimes AEW isn't making it. There's some of that. Blame can go around. There's a lot that can be said. But kind of boil it down to that one point. I think there's a little bit of everything.
Jason, thank you for everything. Happy New Year to you. It's been a long time listener. I hope 2025 is the best year.
I appreciate that very much. I hope you'll be along for the ride.
Absolutely, my friend.
All right, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, take care. There you go. There you go. First time we've done that in a while.
Get inside the castle and look for the source of the contamination.
Especially, hearing from some people who I remember from last year. They're still around and they're still active, and that's awesome to see.
Come in, anybody.
Yuri.
This is Dan Abbott, the
Oh, wait, hold on.
Benefits in Castle Clinton.
We've got a survivor.
He has an explanation
Go help
for
him.
what
The contagion can wait.
it is a homemade corn tortilla filled with
Agents, we need to get the ventilation
refried
system back
beans,
online.
cheese,
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Hold out in here.
or pork,
Looks
or
like Isaac's picking up
a
an
2 of the
exhaust
3
fan.
combination.
You'll need
What?
to switch it on to get rid
I'll
of
take
the
the beans
smoke.
and the pork. You can have the cheese.
Keep away from
That's
the
not gonna
smoke.
work. West Coast James celebrates 43 months of membership. Never tried the boost. Bro, you're killing me. You're streaming for New Year's now. Yes, I am. I'm eating a Busan. A spirit too. And finally, Yuri. It's possible to eventually get a weekly hour online. I think that would be great at some point. I don't think that it is out of the realm of possibility.
Oh man.
I think the number one goal is to continue to put on great shows and just have a bigger 2025 than we had in 2024, 2024. And I think 2025 will be bigger because
I don't know how much longer
grow.
I can hold out here.
Now I'm not bringing all
Looks like Isaac's picking up an exhaust
works,
fan.
but
You'll need to switch it on to
that,
get
I
rid
think
of
that
the
would be a
smoke.
long-term goal. Yes,
Oh shit.
Eclipse virus detected.
it would be in 2025.
Keep away from the smoke.
Stay tuned. 5 and J, it'll be 5 months. 3 hours SmackDown is a huge mistake. I get it. It's not money. Why not make NFL games 25 big times lessons? I say it all the time. Lessons. but they're going to make their money out all they can.
Ventilation system
At some
activated.
point,
Take
won't
out
be able to
those
make that kind of money
cleaners
anymore.
before
They're
they
going to
get
sell
you
that.
dead.
But I don't know how long it's going to be until we get to that point. I guess we're about to find out. So it's going to be a lot of WWE coming up in 2020. On to Toronto. On to Toronto. Toronto's a great wrestling city. But now you're talking like cross border, like it's expensive, like I don't know. I don't know if that's in the works or not, but we'll see. That'd be great. I better see you there. Your ass better come out. Alright. Thank you guys. This was fun. Tomorrow night. Actually, less than 24 hours now. World's End. I will be live at AEW World's End, final pay-per-view of the year, and then episode 894. The podcast drops on Sunday. With all the fallout and all the other news of the week. Get your questions in from the mailbag. I'll try to get as many of those as I can. And we stream live on Monday night. We stream live on New Year's Eve. I'm probably going to go live for it, but it'll be between 10 and 10:30 Eastern. Because the plan is to, other than just hang out and talk about not hitting the mic, other than talk about whatever we're going to talk about, go over the top matches of 2024. Hopefully you guys will join me for that. Be well. Stay safe. See you there.
Hey there, it's Ryan Seacrest from Safeway. This holiday season, make sure you set aside time for self-care. Now through December 31st, shop each store and online or participate in self-care products and get more times points to use for things like your grocery, gas services, stock up on self-care items like Pantene shampoo, Gillette Fusion, and Pro Line razors. Tampax tampon, Monson Base hairspray, and Amber Swaddlers magnets. Offer ends December 31st. Restrictions apply. Promotions may vary. Visit Safeway.com for more details. 2025! Are you ready?
Dave's Killer Bread is ready to run here in January. We send out Killer Taste and Killer Nutrition at a sweepstakes and 3 VIP concert prize packs, round trip airfare, luxury hotel stay, and much more. Text RESET to 73876 and enter for a chance to win. No purchase necessary. Visit Dave'sKillerBread.com/reset for details.
And get that? Well, you have to announce the Rock in advance. The Rock in advance will increase a mega search because people wonder, is he going to interact with Cody Rhodes?
Where you at?
Interact with Roman Reigns? Could he get involved in the Bloodline story? That is huge. Doesn't it seem like the rest of the world's not talking about it? I believe so. Listen, we had a death in the world of professional wrestling over the last 24 hours. And this is not a name that many people out there may have heard of before, but anybody that has followed Ring of Honor for a little while, NWA, especially in recent years, Impact Wrestling for a cup of coffee, you know this man. His real name is Jeremy
Oh man, shit. What was that?
Lemon, and his wrestler name is Jax Dane. J-A-X, like Nia Jax, and Dane. D-A-N-E. He passed away on Christmas Day. At the age of 48 years old. Really, really too young to die. Complications of heart that he suffered in November. The sad thing about it is, I don't even know if that was actually recorded or even information. Believe it or not, the last time that Jax was in a ring, out of an event, was for the NWA in the end of October. I believe Orlando, Florida, or Tampa, Florida. And he did numerous episodes of NWA television, and he was on that event. So he wrestled right around, I think the date was
I've got the crate's location
26,
pinned down.
and
Green
it
Approve
did
is ready to move.
shows all the way
We'll
to
head
the
in
end
as
of the
soon as
year.
the castle is secure.
And he caught a heart attack
Evidence
in
virus
November
detected.
and has been battling
Isaac's pulling data from the
complications ever
security
since.
room.
Now,
We might be able to
listen,
construct it
why
and
he
find
had a
out what
heart
happened
attack,
here.
you got
This
the
may take
people
a while.
online that are speculating. I'm not going to do
Come on up here, up here.
Reinforcements incoming. Find a good spot.
But
Finish
the
them off.
man, was in wrestling for about, I'd say, a dozen years. He started off on the indie circuit, had a cup of coffee in Ring of Honor in 2016, fought Dijak in a match that I believe Dijak actually pictured on social media very well. He was in Impact Wrestling in 2017, worked Ohio Valley Wrestling from 2018 to 2024. So I absolutely expect to see probably a little bit of a tribute from Al Stone. NWA for the last 4 years, he has been featured there. He fought King Storm for the World Championship. He was in NWA World Heavyweight Championship at one time. He actually had his last title might have been the National Championship. But yeah, numerous championship reigns. Very, very impressive looking physique. You look at him, kind of reminds me of somewhat a little bit of Rick Evans. Over 300 pounds, kind of reminds me a little bit of Luke Ellis. Trained by Tom Pritchard. So we'll probably see him paying some tribute as well. Rick Rogers, who is very well respected online, and others. So it's just really, really sad to hear somebody passing away at 48 years old. That's younger than me. So it kind of sobers you up. At Christmas Day, man, that's awful. That is awful. So rest in peace to Jack Stephen. My condolences to his family, his friends, anyone out there that's hearing this that ever worked with him or ever mingled with him.
What's
So
the word?
rest in peace, Jack.
Oh, let me go.
Stand a chance.
Now we have a bunch of results. We got ratings, a little bit of TV results. Most of it is taped, so we're ready to kind of give you the non-spoilers. So, and I'm going to give predictions for the EW World Title. 8 matches, very reasonable. Yeah, there'll probably be 3 or 4 dark matches added to it, but we'll give you the main card of predictions. But I got to speak on something.
Thank you.
Before we go into that. You would think that people would learn their lesson. And trust me, over the years, I've been doing this since 97. One of the things that I take a lot of pride in, and sometimes also rubs a lot of you the wrong way, is always touting that we don't want to be first, we want to be right. And Kevin and I have this uncanny knack of always reading out bullshit from our shows. When was the last time you ever heard Kevin and I react on a story, believing that it's real, even though deep down inside we have questions about it, but we go with it anyway because it gets a lot of viewers, a lot of listeners, and it gets numbers. If it looks like shit, smells like shit, if something seems fishy about it, we pull back. And many times we tell you we're pulling back. And the reason why we tell you is because some of you out there will say, hey, how come you didn't cover this? How come you didn't cover that? 99 times out of 100, our instincts are right. We're not that smart, guys. We do research. And I want to give you an amazing example. What a way to close out 2024 with all due respect to Dave Meltzer. What a way for Cultaholic, Shit Skeeter, and with all due respect to my friends in the podcasting world, all of you out there that jumped on this story without using a little bit of common sense. And I'm talking about Lee Fitting and the WWE. We don't know what happened with him and ESPN. But Kevin and I are the only wrestling news outlet out there have brought up that ESPN has let go over 500 to 1,000 people in the last 2 years. They have cut payroll like no other company in the sports world. A lot of on-air personalities have lost their jobs. It's no secret that ESPN has been getting rid of expensive contracts like no other. And Lee Fitting being let go right smack in the middle of it makes you think, okay, maybe this was a cost-cutting measure and anything else. And then you get this story from The Athletic, who makes these wild claims about Lee Fitting. And look, he could end up being a creep. But the problem is number one, it's behind a paywall. And the only news outlets out there that ran with the story that had nothing to do with wrestling either are affiliated with The Athletic. New York Times was the first one to break the story, and then you realize, oh, The Athletic was part of the New York Times. And then you see like Sports Illustrated and a couple other sites, and then you got to look a little closer and look at the authors of those articles. And the authors just happen to be wrestling podcasters. You know, I brought up one guy the other day who I like. I have nothing against him. I don't have any issue with him really bringing up the accusation or reporting what the Athletic said, but he does a podcast with me. So my point is, when you see only wrestling jumping all over it, because, oh, look at what's going on with Janelle Grant, WWE hire Lee Fitting that's made all these sexual perversions and advances and unwanted advances to women and ESPN. But meanwhile, you notice that nobody in the mainstream news world is covering it. You start asking yourself, how did they even reach out to these people without contacting ESPN first? Plus, they never contacted ESPN for comment about these accusations. Never contacted specific people. It started to smell like this was a money grab more than anything else. Then you look at some of the accusations where the guy is thinking like, wait a minute, this guy, part of this guy's job is presentation on TV. And if he feels that someone needs to change their look a little bit, he's not doing it because he's sexually aroused. He's doing it because he believes it's better for television. If you get insulted by that, go eat a Snickers bar. You know, saying with a whole bunch of people in the room that, oh, girl was looking for a chair, and he's like, oh, you can sit on my lap. But meanwhile, no one else in the room, you know, could confirm the story. And then not only that, nobody has names. Nobody comes forward. People in that. It didn't pass the smell test for Kevin I, especially the fact that with all of the releases that ESPN has done with public people, the Lee Fitting being there for 25 years, you would have thought that mainstream news would have picked up on this and talked about it, especially the fact that even the biggest schmucks, Ashley Banfield and others, who jumped all over the Janelle Grant stuff, this would have been perfect material for her to kind of piggyback that.
Assuming they haven't made
She
it
didn't
him
do
already.
it.
Hopefully
Kevin and I went on Monday's show and we said, no, we're not covering it. It doesn't pass the smell test. We'll get a load of this just to show you how bad. And listen, this is not an advertising play. This is not me telling you to stop tuning into everybody else. But understand, people are using you for hits, views. Even if you like the people, hey, if you want to be manipulated by that, by all means, continue doing it. Dave Meltzer posted a story on Tuesday morning that everybody and their mother read, even the biggest of the big in the podcasting world read. You know what that story was? Was that Lee Fitting was removed from the Raw credits. You know, at the end of WWE programming, it says produced by all of that Lee Fitting. In NXT, you'll see Shawn Michaels' name as well. Dave Meltzer reported that Lee Fitting was removed from the Raw credits. Everybody ran with it. As soon as I saw that, I DM'd Kev. I said, Kev, did you see what Meltzer wrote? And Kev wrote, LOL, there are no Raw credits. And I'm like, Kev, you and I cannot be that intelligent to immediately say, wait a minute, I can't remember Raw ever having credits at the end of the show. It was a lie. It was a fucking lie. And people knew it was a lie because they watch Raw every week. And not one person out there said, then PW Insider goes out and says, oh, to correct Dave Meltzer, Raw doesn't have credits. So what does everybody do? Instead of just saying, hey guys, we all watch Raw, we never see credits, the PW Insider reports that there are no Raw credits. It's a fucking joke, guys. This is why Kevin and I take so much pride in what we do. Because even the biggest of the big out there, just because of that competition and because of that desperate attempt for hits, views, and ad revenue and money. And some people have rolled the dice and made this their 100%
Another
livelihood.
agent is now in
It's
your
going to be
bunker.
interesting a couple of years from now when everything comes crashing down. People are tired of being lied to. You see it in the political world. That happens in the sports world. It happens in the entertainment world. It's going to happen in the wrestling world. What are you going to do? What you going to do, brother? So what happens? Not only are there no law credits, but remember what Kevin and I said on Monday. The story does not pass the small test. Not only that, WWE does their diligence. And it's not even just WWE, it's TKO Group Holdings. They put every person under the microscope to avoid things like this. Elite Fitting still with that company. What happens? NXT airs Tuesday night. NXT goes off the air. Guess whose name is on the credits? We fucking Fitting. Now what happens? 48 hours later, you have all these news reporters saying, "Oh, WWE confirmed that they were aware of this, and there is no issues with Elite Fit." Who do you think, less than 3 hours after a Christmas holiday at 9:30 in the morning on a Thursday, the 26th of December, got in touch with a WWE official who says, "Oh no, everything's fine with Elite Fitting"?
What does Kisqali mean for Lisa, who has HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer?
I started taking Kisqali in 2020, and I intend to keep taking it as long as it keeps working for me. I have so much going on in my life. I'm a legal assistant, a minister, a grandmother. I love doing all these things. And it's very important that I'm able to keep going.
You don't leave that many
Individual
people
results
guarding
may
an
vary.
empty
Kisqali, ribociclib 200 milligram tablets, is a proven prescription medicine used to treat adults with hormone receptor-positive human epidermal growth factor receptor 2 negative breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body. Metastatic, in combination with an aromatase inhibitor, is the first endocrine-based therapy. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, changing your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdominal pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or are breastfeeding. These are not all the possible side effects. Kisqali is available by prescription only. Talk with your doctor and visit Kisqali.com for more information for patients and providers, including full important safety information and patient prescribing information. That's KISQALI.com. This holiday season, Amtrak wants to take your travel from to. Whether you're traveling out of Baltimore to visit family or simply looking for a better way to get there, Amtrak is the perfect no middle seats getaway. And taking the train means taking it easy. Amtrak offers plenty of legroom, electric outlets, and no middle seats. Tap your screen to learn more at Amtrak.com. Amtrak, free train travel.
People trying to cover their ass. And honestly, anybody out there that continues putting money in these people's pockets, hey, you can't say you told you so. But what a way to close out 2024 with something. We could actually and I back up my analysis of these companies' research. You remember about 2 months ago, AEW lands the TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, and all the elite media is saying that AEW is going to have a TV show on Fox called Shockwave. Well, you remember that? That was only October. October! We're only in December. So, in October, you had the elite media all saying that very close to airing a new program called Shockwave on Fox. And this was going to replace WWE and this and that. And it was funny, if you remember when we first covered it, we said, wait a minute, you look at AEW's programming and how over the top it is with the blood and the violence and the vulgar language and sexual innuendos and this and that. You can't air any of that on Fox. Oh, no, like that cartoon. No, you don't know what you're talking about. So, barely 2 months later, no Shockwave on TV, no Fox deal.
Let's get Jacko up top.
Lineups already been announced. What's going on? So people start saying to those elite news medias out there, broke this 2 months ago. What's going on? What happened to Shockwave? So, Meltzer once again, leading the pack, says, oh, no time anytime soon. It fell through. And the reasons why it fell through. He says, there are several nights a week where an AEW show, to do an AEW show from a year ago, even 6 months ago, we could have done better than Fox on those nights. But right now, it's not as much a sure thing. He's blaming on ratings going down. Well, my friends, I decided to look at the weeks leading up to the news reports of Fox getting chopped. So they're working on, they're finalizing the deal. I looked at the 6 weeks before it, and then I looked at the last 6 weeks after Meltzer put this story out. Now, compare the ratings prior to the October announcements, and now I'm comparing it to the ratings of the last 6 weeks. The only week that I left out from the ratings was when AEW got out compared to NXT. Because that.
Oh, damn, I did it again.
This is what I found. And they were all reporting that AEW and Fox were very close to a deal to air Shockwave. Their average rating was 664,000 viewers. Their average rating now, for the last 6 weeks prior to the week that I talked about, they're averaging 608,000 viewers. You're trying to tell us that because of a 58,000 viewership drop that could be made up in a snap of a finger, that Fox says, no, we're not doing it. 58,000 viewers less, no, too much. And everybody's still this way, not bothering to see that the ratings are not much different than they would report this stuff. That's why when people were asking me the last couple of days, why did you put that on Twitter about, you know, AEW's ratings early this year with all the 800s and all that, and they haven't skipped 800 since the middle of June. The reason why I'm only doing it now, some people are slick, they're like, oh, you know, you're a little late to the game. No. The reason why I didn't report this in July or August or September is because you want to build a trend. You know, sometimes, hey, it's a summer months, it's sports, it's this, there's the playoffs going on. You don't analyze things for a few weeks. You look at Collision's number, which I'm going to get into later. Collision popped a great rating this week. Excellent rating. Still nowhere near where they should be, but an excellent rating. You see people out there think all is well now. All is well. After one rating. So, it's only respectful and fair for AEW to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 months to see if this is the new norm. It sounds like Vince would say, if this is the new norm. That's why we waited. I don't want to throw numbers out there and say, and that's why nobody fights me. You know, somebody have to test me. I know some people will say, whoa, this is English. Well, guess what? Look at our ratings on Spotify and iTunes. People are tuning in. They're not stupid. I've been around for 20 years for a reason. That's not branded. But again, you listen to Meltzer, it sounds somewhat feasible until you start doing the numbers on it. Something doesn't add up to show that. That's the case. Now, we do have some rules for AEW that is easy. First of all, Collision. This past Saturday night. Now, the week before it went head-to-head with Saturday night's main event, so that 246,000 viewership number we throw out the door. But this past weekend, advertising the face-to-face of MJF and Adam Cole.
Load the water up.
This Collision scored 635,000 viewers. Very, very good number for AEW. Now, what does that go to show you? 2 weeks ago, Rampage popped a great number, advertising Tony Storm's in-ring match return. I know a lot of people said, oh, I can't believe they put a return match on Rampage, that's a garbage show. The whole character, if you want to simplify it, is amnesia. So she thinks it's just like if somebody debuted on Sunday Night Heat years ago, and then they become a major star, and then they do an amnesia storyline, and they go back to Sunday Night Heat thinking they're starting their career all over again. I don't know if it's going to be good with Tony Stark. I give it the benefit of the doubt because the timeless thing worked great. But what does that show you? You put good names on there and you advertise it, and it's not just simply putting matches together for a tournament or for numbers. That's why the Continental Classic, with all due respect, has bombed the last 2 years. It is not what it was. A great idea a couple of years ago, but now it's not what it used to be. You look at what happened to Claudio Castagnoli in this tournament, and we all saw it a mile away. There was no way Claudio Castagnoli was going onto the finals on pay-per-view. I don't care what Death Rider clique he's part of. And this guy was doing great. Then all of a sudden, he goes from the leader to not even on pay-per-view. Why? Because everybody knew that AEW wanted to do Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay again, and they wanted to do Will Ospreay and Ricochet once again. So they do the tournament, and this person is undefeated, this person is here, and now there's this person in last place. Look at Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin ends up next to last place. Oh, he's getting a major push. This tournament was designed to set up matches for a pay-per-view. And we like great matches, don't get us wrong. But it sucks when you're doing a tournament where you know certain people are going to lose. And it kills fucking momentum, especially when you do stipulations that nobody can come down to ringside. There's no disqualifications. There's no this. Nobody can do this. Nobody can get involved. And you're like, wow, so that means people are going to be using clean. Yes. Someone could cheat to win. Somebody used brass knucks. That's what heels do. They do it behind the ref's back. So that's what ends up happening. You announce matches that people have an emotional investment in, and you'll draw some decent numbers. You get a casual person who happens to be home on that night to say, hey, let me tune into, such and such show for a little while. Just to get into another rating, since we just mentioned it, Raw on Monday night did 1,453,000 viewers. That is down from last week's 1,522,000. Remember, it was a recorded show, and if you remember Kevin and I's review, it was a missable show. Let's be honest, it was really a missable show. A couple other things regarding AEW. They have inked a deal with ITV in the United Kingdom, and their exclusive media rights deal will continue. ITV will continue to show weekly episodes of Dynamite every Friday night, Collision on every Wednesday night. I know you guys are going to say, isn't that kind of ass backwards? Yeah, but they have it on a delay for a reason. It's going to be available on IT4, ITVX, and that's pretty good. They've been working with ITV, I think, since the beginning, and they extended their deal. So that's a nice little thing for AEW to get that in the bag. Speaking of TV deals, I'll just throw this one out there just to, so I don't want to forget it. TNA inked the deal with Sportsnet 360 in Canada. And Sportsnet 360 is no joke, man. They are one of the biggest sports networks out there. They might even be number one. And they broadcast Vancouver Canucks games, the Edmonton Oilers, Toronto Maple Leafs, Calgary Flames, they cover the Blue Jays, the Raptors, even UFC. So this is legit sports. This is not like bullshit Access TV, with all due respect. Do you want to hear a tidbit? I don't have all the details in front of me.
The building's dark.
I
We're gonna
do
need to
watch a
reconnect the
lot
power and track down
of
Parnell's server.
media out there
Hopefully, you just
outside
need
of
to reach
this.
that breaker box
The
or
company's just
generator.
the broadcasting world, TV world. They try to understand. That's why we knew so much about the CW and what they're targeting in 2025. But somebody put this out there the other day. I did a little quick checking. Sure enough, it's right. You know what the average viewership is of primetime television, Access TV right now? Access Television, primetime TV, Monday through Friday. I guess you can include Saturdays too. I guess you can include all 7 days. Primetime is what, 8 to 10, 8 to 11? The average viewership rating, Access TV right now, the primetime, during the week is 26,000 viewers. 26,000. So when you hear about Impact only doing 40, 50,000, you understand why they're still on that network. It is still much better. I think Impact might be their second biggest show that they air during the year. So I just figured I'd share that with you. But TNA issuing that announcement that Impact will air on Sportsnet 360 is a big deal. Multi-year agreement. Impact will air every Thursday from 8 to 10. And they will also be airing Explosion, TNA in 60, and even some TNA Classic programming as well. So this is a nice announcement for TNA, and it's a overall sports network. That's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. So let's get back to AEW. I want to start bringing this home because everybody is going to have a chaotic weekend and you don't want to spend any with it. I know it. The wife of Sammy Guevara. She has not been in a wrestling ring for about 2 years, and she is returning to the wrestling ring. Interesting enough, it would not be for AEW. She will actually be wrestling for Stardom's New Year's Dream Show on Friday, February 3rd. Now, I do know that Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes are going to be, I believe, on Wrestle Dynasty overseas the first week in January. So I guess that's the reason why she will be in Japan also and working for Stardom. I do not believe this is a U.S. show. This is overseas. It's Friday, January 3rd, so she will be wrestling for Stardom. Let me give you AEW Dynamite results from Christmas Day. And everything on the show is Continental Classic matches, except for Tony Storm beating Tayabaka. But in the Gold League, the match results Will Ospreay over Brody King. Darby Allin and Ricochet went to a draw. Commander, who had a goose egg, beat Claudio Castagnoli, who was in the league, guys. And it was funny because I saw media cutting and pasting the same phrase. I read it on 9 different websites, and they wrote, honestly fun match. What the hell does that even mean? Honestly fun. What, so you lie to us other times? No. This was honestly fun. Commander is no longer with a goose egg. And just think of that. Claudio Castagnoli, I know what you're going to compare it to. It's like a team like Major League Baseball that it dominates the whole season and then gets knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. Or any sports. This is professional wrestling, guys. There's momentum. And Claudio Castagnoli was in the league. Nobody in their right mind thought that this guy was going to go on to pay-per-view and be one of the finals. So what happens? He's heading up everything up until the last week, and Commander gets a win, and Claudio is knocked out. I laughed when I saw that. Okada in the Blue League beat Shelton Benjamin, and Kyle Fletcher defeated Daniel Garcia. So let me give you these final standings, and then we will do predictions. In the Blue League, Kyle Fletcher has 12 points. He goes on to World's End. Okada, with 10 points, goes on to World's End. Mark Briscoe with 9, Daniel Garcia with 7, Shelton Benjamin with 6, and the Beast of Mortis with a goose egg. They do not. Ricochet with 10 points, and Will Ospreay with 9 points goes on to World's End. Claudio Castagnoli also had 9 points, but because he lost to Will Ospreay, he does not go to World's End with 3. Darby Allin with 7 points, Brody King with 6, and Commander closes it out.
Wait a minute.
I know what a lot of you are going to say. For a while, we expected, predicted, felt that Darby Allin was going to defeat Jon Moxley at World's End, close out 2024 with Darby Allin as your world champion. And also remember, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about it. Darby Allin is going to be climbing Mount Everest in April. There's a lot of training for that. You don't just simply leave AEW and the next week you're on a plane and go to start hiking. You know, he will be off TV for...
Oh, you go back out and come back in. Go back downstairs. I forgot.
Before he even starts his hike. So if he's world champion, it's going to be a very brief run. 2 months at the most. You would think after... arguably, it is...
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
After a very disappointing 2024.
Is this it? Yeah.
Second half of 2024 for AEW. their ratings are down 35% since they aired that footage of Jack Perry and CM Punk. And remember what I've always said, guys? I like the idea of them airing the footage. I had no idea it was going to prove CM Punk 100% right. I expected them to have something to make them look good out of this, and it just showed everything. It just blew up in their face. My God. My God, it was just ridiculous how bad that was. You look back at AEW, if it meets its demise anytime soon, which I don't believe. So I think AEW will be fine for a while because they have the bankroll what they do. And they ain't closing down. I'm not even thinking about that. But if it does meet its demise, down the line, or if they don't recover anytime soon, that turning point was airing that footage. Because it really just showed behind the scenes. We're not going to get into the whole thing again. Kevin and I had an amazing discussion on this Monday. But it just showed that the culture, the climate, the foundation was everything that we feared that it was. And when you see, the people in charge, doing a celebration lap around the ring, and you think about some of the others who are heavily featured, you think about the politics, and there's a lot of people that can't stand Jericho, and there's a lot of people that can't stand this, and then you see all that, and then Tony Khan is fearing for his life. Like, you just feel like this is a clown show. It's people are making money. It's great for the wrestlers there. I'm not knocking any wrestler. I've said it before. If you can get the deal, make your money, man. Make your money. But, man, what a really, really disappointing second half for AEW. You would think they'd close out 2024 with Darby Allin with that belt in his hand. Now, they could still do a little swerve. No pun intended. By the way, Swerve is not on this pay-per-view. You could, as of right now, Darby Allin's not on it either. But you could do something with a Swerve on this pay-per-view where Darby Allin takes some of the spot. Maybe he takes on Cassidy's spot. I don't know. I still get this wild feeling that Darby Allin is going to close out World's End as your world champion. I can't see them. Look at the pay-per-view name, World's End. Let it be the end of the world for the Death Fighters. Don't go into 2025 with the same. Then again, their view of what they're putting on TV is good TV. So, you got to think of their mindset. But anyway, let me give you some quick predictions. We have 8 matches. World End this Saturday from the Edition Financial Arena in Orlando, Florida. And yes, WWE is doing a house show in Orlando the same weekend. So they are competing for obviously difficulties.
What does Viscali mean for Lisa, who has HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer?
I started taking Kisqali in 2020, and I intend to keep taking it as long as it keeps working for me. I have so much going on in my life. I'm a legal assistant, a minister, a grandmother. I love doing all these things, and it's very important to be able to keep going.
Individual results may vary. Kisqali, ribociclib 200 milligram tablets, is a proven prescription medicine used to treat adults with hormone receptor-positive, human epidermal growth factor receptor 2 negative breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, metastatic. In combination with an aromatase inhibitor, is the first endocrine-based therapy. Kisqali can cause lung problems or abnormal heart cancer leading to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid breakthrough during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdominal pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or are breastfeeding. These are not all the possible side effects. Kisqali is available by prescription only. Talk with your doctor and visit Kisqali.com for more information for patients and providers, including full important safety information and patient prescribing information. That's KISQALI.com. This holiday season, Amtrak wants to take your travel from
Just need you to buy me a little time so I can track down Pano's server. And no, I don't know how much time.
Whether you're traveling out of Baltimore to visit Cambridge or simply looking for a better way to get there, Amtrak is the perfect no-middle seats getaway. And taking the train means taking it easy. Amtrak offers plenty of legroom, electric outlets, and no middle seats. Tap your screen to learn more at Amtrak.com. Amtrak, free train travel.
Will Ospreay. Now, remember when I told you there's 3 Continental Classic matches on this week? You have the finals, then you have the 2 semifinal matches. Now, remember, the leader of the Blue League faces the runner-up in the Gold League. And the leader of the Gold League faces the runner-up of the Blue League. Got that? I know. Somebody in second place is being rewarded. So, that was designed to set up Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. They didn't want them in the finals. So they wanted to at least have them on the show. So by doing the leader of the Blue League versus the runner-up of the Gold League, now you can do Fletcher and Will Ospreay. So that's one of the matches. The winner of that match will go on to the final later on to become the Continental Champion. And the other match is Okada versus Ricochet. So, Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher or Randy Orton Wright. It's amazing how much he's popular in New York. Somebody's got to interview him in New York. What do you think about Kyle Fletcher? Basically taking his Randy Orton. Maybe someone has just look at that. No Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, I think AEW fans wouldn't mind seeing him wrestling 2 matches on that card. So I absolutely know Will Ospreay. Ricochet versus Okada. The winner of that match goes on to the final later on the phone with Ricochet all the way. I'm telling you guys, this is early, and I'm not even putting in my synopsis, but give me another week or 2. I might even put in the synopsis. I think Ricochet can turn out to be an amazing troll heel in AEW. And I say amazing, I think he's going to piss off the fucking fans so much they're going to have to kill this guy. I don't mean literally. I think Ricochet, onto something where he could be this prima donna troll that everybody just wants to see smack. He's got that face you want to see back. And I say that as professional wrestler, so you see that person. I think Ricochet being Okada, Ricochet, because he's got this new invigoration, would love to wrestle 2 matches on this pay-per-view. And that means it'll be Ricochet versus Will Ospreay in the finals, which is another dream match that everybody wants to see over and over again. I am going with Ricochet to beat Will Ospreay. I think Ricochet winning this thing. And listen, if he loses, he's got it right. If he loses to Will Ospreay, Ricochet has to cry. But I obviously think Ricochet needs to win this. And I don't think Will Ospreay needs a Continental Championship and stuff that we defend. So just let Ricochet win it. Let him come out every week wearing that belt, even though he's not going to be done with it. And that'll just add more heel. So I'm going with Ricochet to win. We have MJF defending the Dynamite Diamond Ring versus Adam Cole. They went out of their way to tell us that Matt Taven and Mike Beck will be in his corner. MJF has held that diamond ring for years and years and years and years and years. I think it's kind of gotten old. I think Adam Cole needs a little rub. I think Adam Cole, especially the way he was mocked recently by MJF, I think him losing this even because of MJF with dirty work, I don't think that helps Adam Cole at all. I'm actually going with Adam Cole to win that diamond ring and get that that stigma of MJF just holding that ring year after year after year, get it out of it. I'm going with Adam Cole to win it. Mariah May will defend the AEW Women's World Championship against Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight. I've read this by a lot of people out there, and I agree 100%. Where's the feud leading up to this? You have 1 match in April. Where's the feud? This street fight's going to be bloody. There's going to be weapons. There's going to be thumbtacks. And you would think that would be the culmination of a feud. That would be the final match of a feud. And they're doing this now. Why? Because they feel that we have to give an uber-violent match on that card. And obviously Thunder Rosa wants to have that kind of a match. But to me, this has no feud really built to it. So, I don't want to call it pointless violence because I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, but I'm going with Mariah May to retain. Although, even though it's a street fight, we could see Toni Storm get robbed. I'm going with Mariah May to retain. I'd love to see Thunder Rosa win it because of Toni Storm screwing Mariah May. Then you could have Tony Storm versus Mirage made no title on the line in Australia. But I just don't see AEW giving it back on the road. Sad to say it. That's how I feel. The International Championship will be on the line. Takeshita will defend against Powerhouse Hobbs. I know every time Powerhouse Hobbs returns, we think this is the time they're finally going to put the Jets behind them. Man, it just feels like he's stuck in the mud again. And Takeshita, it almost feels like because of Jimmy Jacobs' exit, they finally had they're thinking of putting, a little momentum and a belt behind Takeshita. Do they take that off of him this quickly? I don't know. I don't think so. But I personally think if there's ever a time that Powerhouse Hobbs needed a title, it is now. It is now. But unfortunately, I'm going with Takeshita to retain. Mercedes Moné defending the TBS Championship against Chris Statlander. They're advertising this as their second bout. I get a weird feeling of a disqualification finish because you kind of feel like you really want to see, unless Chris is on the way out, you don't want to see Mercedes Moné get a win 2 times in a row against Chris Statlander. The women's division in AEW, they have done a real terrible job, in my opinion, with Deonna Purrazzo lately, with Taya Valkyrie lately. You look at other women there that have done next to nothing. It's you could rack up wins, but as Kevin I exposed on Tony Storm, with all due respect, I'm not shocked. Big news that she was not even viewed. Just Natalie Moxley defending the AEW Championship against Orange Cassidy. Hangman Adam Page forward. I don't see Hangman Page becoming champion at this time. Neither Jay White. I hate the way they've been using Jay White. Hangman Page, I just feel coming out of Swerve, this just feels random. Orange Cassidy, I get why people want to see Orange Cassidy as world champion at least once with AEW. But WWE has no interest in Orange Cassidy anytime soon. So he's going to be in AEW as long as he wants to be there and as long as he can still wrestle. So I just don't see any of the 3 contenders winning it. I'm going with Jon Moxley to retain it.
I'm going back now.
But I have a feeling, I'm sorry, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, this is what makes, we talk about wrestling fun. We fantasize, we opine, we just throw stuff out there. I just get this feeling that maybe Moxley beats Cassidy, starts beating the shit out of him. Darby Allin makes the save. Some challenge is made, and Moxley puts the belt on the line unexpectedly against Darby Allin. And Darby Allin beats him for that belt. Or they could do an injury angle where before the show starts, Orange Cassidy or Jay White is laid out, and they have Darby Allin take this spot. Listen, this is just me talking. I don't work for AEW. I don't work in the creative. My ideas, I don't think anyone listens to. I don't even know. I mean, I know who some of my friends that work at it listen for entertainment purposes, but I don't see anybody taking any of our creative ideas and running with it. But, man, if there's any way to start off 2025 in AEW, I think having that world championship on Darby Allin is the way to go. I really do. In a 4-way, there is no disqualification, so you can have some wild shit go down. So either I'm going with if there are no other, if these are the 3 contenders and there are no other substitutes and there are no other matches for Moxley that night, then I'm going with Jon Moxley to retain. But if they do a substitution, Moxley has an impromptu match. After that match is over, I'm going with Darby Allin to become the world champion. I just see it. I feel it. I've been feeling this way for a while. I picture it in my mind, and I just think everything fits. I think it's just a great way to close out 2024. I really do. So that's where I'm going with this. We'll see what happens, guys. We're almost done, guys. Let me give you some quick NXT results from Tuesday night. Stephanie Baker over Cora Jade. Lexis King wins the Heritage Cup from Charlie Dempsey with help from William Regal, who hit his son with breast notes. The unholy union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defeated Jasmine Nix and JC Jade of Fatal Influence. And get a load of this. Fallon Henley tried to interfere in the match, and Katana Chance and Kaden Carter stopped her. Think about that. The unholy union getting somewhat assistance from Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Are they going to do a main roster click invading NXT, starting the trades and feuding with NXT women? I wonder. Yeah, Ashante Adonis over Dean Lennox. We had a Christmas Chaos four-way match of OTM defeating Miles Warren, Tavian Heights, Hank and Tank, and Statue Ruspino. So OTM are now the #1 contenders for the tag titles. And we did set up the three-way match for New Year's Eve. Trick William will defend the World Championship against Oba Femi and Eddie Thorpe. By the way, I laughed. There was a couple of about fake news on the NXT results. And the match that everybody was reporting was Hank and Tank becoming the #1 contenders. And when I saw it, I just was like, I just can't believe Hank and Tank being #1 contenders. Like, I had to see it for myself. And we never put spoilers up, so I'm glad we didn't. But, man, if I would have ran with that and it ended up being wrong, I would have never heard the end of it. But, yeah, OTM, I mean, the tag team division in NXT right now is kind of shoddy as well. But once these trades are done, it's going to look completely different, guys. All right, just to wrap up the show. Congratulations. Go out to Max.
What is Scout what?
And Anthony Luke, who wrestles in NXT.
No.
They've been a couple for a little while, and they just got engaged Christmas week. Yeah. I posted a picture of him in the hospital for surgery. Man, does he look pissed the fuck off.
This year's winter project will Division 2, and today you get a hold of the Rudy Balaclava, so we're going to explain how to get this today and also the winter project to you if you're doing all the details yet. When you log in today, you're going to notice under your projects menu, you've got the winter project easy and the winter project hard. Both of these are day one, and this time they're doing time trials. They're not too difficult though. I know a lot of people are worried about what times it give you to achieve these. Very easy. I'm going to show you my runs in this video, but I will be going on my watch channel. I'll link them down below if you want to watch. I'll tell you what I did. You can do it on any difficulty as well. This can be on story. I'll show you that. Or you can do it on heroic. It's entirely up to you. You can see this easy one is for Grand Washington Hotel. The hard one is for Manhattan. Very attainable times there. They come with different rewards as well. You can see here for the easy project, you get a hold of the Rudy Balaclava as well as some XP, and you've just got to book a Grand Washington Hotel in under 17 minutes, 42.02 seconds. Very easy. And then for the hard project is back headquarters in under 12 minutes, 58 seconds. Which is a little bit more difficult, but I wiped on the boss here and still managed to do it. A very easy time to beat, and I was doing it on heroic. If you're struggling at all, you can just drop the difficulty. Just like with the old league events, you got a little time trial icon above the mission. They used to have like a league icon, and these were leagues, so it signifies the time trial active on this mission right now. And then notice as I switch the difficulty to story, I'll start this mission and the timer will start to signify I can do it on story difficulty if I want it. So it can be that easy.